Brandon here from Poindexter, and today we're going to cover how to create financial projections for a SaaS company. And I'm going to try and do this in a couple minutes here to keep this really short and sweet to show you some of the things to look out for as you are doing this for your own SaaS company. So we'll just create a project called SaaSco because we are feeling really creative today. And the first thing we'll need to do is forecast out the customer channels. So where are the different ways or areas we're going to be finding customers and generating demand for the app. And we'll add one in right now, and we'll just say Google Ads will be a primary channel for us. We can associate a monthly spend with it if we'd like. And then how many leads do we expect based on that spend? Let's say 50 cents per lead, so 1,000 leads per month. And then we can really dive into what the conversion funnel looks like. So the first thing customers or potential customers might do is sign up for the app. And we can give them a conversion rate of 60%, which would be probably extremely high. I would like to see conversion like that, and definitely do not. But the next step might be become a customer, because why not? Just keep this simple. So 70% do that. So you can get a sense of what your funnel looks like. This is going to be different for every business, depending upon your industry, your product you're selling, your sales cycle, your different channels. It really could be all over the map, but generally this is the process. So there's multi-step conversion funnel taking place. Sometimes there might be days in between each step or not, but from a very basic level, this is like the minimum number of fields you need to input. And so we'll just save that out, and our 3-year Google ad that we're going to run, which I probably wouldn't recommend, is going to be forecast out for us automatically. Yeah, and it looks good. So we'll just go to the revenues page now and start to monetize those customers that we have acquired. So we'll input a subscription model because we are doing a SaaS company, and we'll just call this SaaS revenue. We can see that our Google ad is automatically associated with this revenue stream. So all the customers we're getting from this ad are being filtered directly into this particular product. And we'll associate a free trial period with it because it is a SaaS product, and that's pretty standard. We have a 14-day free trial here at Poindexter. And then from there, all we need to say is what percentage of the people that enter this 14-day free trial are going to convert at the end of it and become paid customers. So we'll say 20% do that. And all we need to do now is just input the price per month and then any churn that we expect to be associated with this product. So even though we might think we have the best product in the world and people will use it forever, there's going to be some degree of churn no matter what. And this is going to be a very important assumption for any SaaS company. And the reason I say that is because it has what I like to call a high degree of leverage on your business model. So a small change in churn will have a very drastic future impact on your financials. And I'm going to demonstrate that right now by just inputting 5% here for this revenue model. Save that out, and then based on our Google ad, we will have revenue forecast for us automatically, which is quite nice. So that was pretty simple, right? No custom equations or anything like that. I'm going to input a cost here really quick just to get some negative cash flows generated, and I'm going to put a per user cost in. So this will be applied to the active user base within our SaaS application, and this will be user setup costs. How about that? So this will be a cost every time a user signs up for our paid subscription. We are going to have a cost associated with setting them up of $100, whether that's training or some sort of systems integration or something like that. We'll have to change this actually to a one-time user cost, so it only applies upon user converting. And we'll just input 100%. And so this way it's not recurring, right? It's only once they sign up. So we only have one revenue model. So yeah, we'll click save. And since we're charging $25 a month, that $100 setup fee, it'll take us a couple months to recoup that back from the customer and start generating a profit on them. So we have a couple of months or actually 2 quarters now of negative cash flows generated. But we can see that it still looks pretty good. This is our cash flow graph up in the top left-hand corner, and it looks pretty nice still. But if we go back into the revenue model and adjust churn, as I mentioned before, so if we increase it from 5% to 15%, we're going to see a very drastic change in the value of the project and the cash flows that are generated. So this is now looking a lot less good, I guess, from the perspective of an investor, where they typically like to see things go up and to the right, not necessarily flat and to the right. And if we go into the financial section and check out the pipeline, we can actually see what's happening to our customer base behind the scenes here. So we can see that we're adding about 420 customers to this application, or to this SaaS revenue stream every month. And we are generating, based on 15% churn, we have about 80 people leaving. So if we get rid of those two bar graphs, then what we have here is the active customers in the background here. So I just got rid of those other two just so we can see what's happening here. And we can see that based on generating that, I believe it was 420 new customers every month, and a 15% churn rate, that we start to level off, and the customer base stops growing at a 15% rate at around about 550 or so, 560 customers. So in order to overcome that, we'll either need to find new channels and grow the number of customers that we're converting each month, scaling our ad spend, or just basically piling new people into the app every month in order to compensate for the people that are actually leaving or canceling. And so the problem here is I think magnified when we look at this graph, because if we had churn of 5%, it would be much easier for us to keep people within this customer base. They wouldn't be leaving as quickly, and it'd be a lot easier to grow it over time. So just keep that in mind with your SaaS company. Churn is going to be a huge factor, a huge assumption for you. In the more clarity, more justification you have around that, the easier it is going to be for you to figure out what future cash flows look like. So I hope you found this helpful to some degree, and feel free to leave any comments. I'd be happy to respond to them.